Good afternoon, everyone. This is the first time I've made a video in the afternoon. As you can see, I've been busy. I just got up my Christmas tree. And I believe I hear some Nutcracker music playing. Awesome. I'm getting in the spirit. It's not even Thanksgiving yet. I'm so excited. All right, so now I've got to get ready. So let me cut the music off and get our board up and we'll get started with our video. Okay, let's make sure you can see everything. Great. I think you can. Okay, so today, believe it or not, we are ready to do video number 12. Can you believe it? We've already done 11 videos and this is our final video for the semester. So today we're going to cover some vocabulary that you'll be needing to understand for the crossword puzzle for video number 12. And it's going to cover several things and I'll go over those with you in just a few minutes. Make sure you already have your workbook and your pencil ready because you're going to be writing down the words and definitions like you did on video 11 so that it'll be easy for you to plug those in on your crossword puzzle, okay? Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about, all of you have done the C major scale and the G major scale. Now the C major scale did not use any sharps or flats, but the G major scale uses F sharp. So today we're going to talk about the next scale in the order, and it's going to be the D major scale. And the D major scale uses 2 sharps. Those sharps are F sharp and C sharp. Now I'm going to show you on the keyboard what that looks like. Okay, so if we start on a D, let's start here, and we finish at the next D up, then we're going to play 3 notes, D, E, F sharp, and then put our thumb under to the G. 1, 2, 3, and our 4th finger has to go on the black key, C sharp, and our pinky on D. So it's going to look like this, D, E, F sharp. Go ahead and write this down in your notebook. D, E, F sharp, thumb goes under, G, A, B, C sharp, and D. Okay, now let's make sure you can see that. Okay, D, E, F sharp, thumb under, G, A, B, C sharp, and pinky on D. I'll write those numbers in for you. 1, 2, 3, thumb under, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now when you're going, this is of course right hand, RH, right hand. When you're going backwards, you're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you'll have to put the 3rd finger over so you have 3 more fingers to finish out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3rd finger up to F sharp, E, D, okay? So I want you to practice that D major scale this week and remember how many sharps the D major scale uses. It uses 2. Those sharps are F sharp and C sharp. So there's the sharp and there's the sharp. F sharp and C sharp. That's right hand, 1, 2, 3, thumb under, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? All right, now let me erase that and we're going to talk about dynamics next. when we talk about dynamics, D-Y-N-A-M-I-C-S, dynamics. That, of course, is when we look at how loud or how soft to play a particular song. So today we want to talk about two in particular. Let's look at letter P that stands for the word piano. And when you see a letter P in your music, it means that you're going to play soft. So P means soft. Sometimes you will see a letter F. When you see letter F, it stands for the Italian word forte, F-O-R-T-E. And it means to play loud. So you'll want to watch your music and make sure that when you see these dynamic markings that you are observing them and you're playing the way they ask you to, whether it is P for soft or F for loud. Sometimes you'll see double P's, that means very soft, or a double F, and that means very loud, but you don't have to worry about writing those down today. Okay, I'll give you a second to get the word dynamics. P means soft and F means loud. P stands for piano and F stands for forte. All right, you can start your video over if you need more time to get that down. I'm going to move on. If you see a sign that looks like this, two lines and two dots, I call it eggs and bacon, it's really called, as some of you already know, a repeat sign. So you see that sign, it means to play again, repeat. That's a repeat sign, okay? So here's how you spell the word repeat. R-E-P-E-A-T, repeat sign, S-I-G-N. That is a repeat sign. Okay? Now, let's talk about how many keys are on a real piano. Some of you have keyboards at home, so it would be hard for you to figure out on a keyboard unless it's a standard size keyboard that equates to a real piano, an acoustic piano or a grand piano. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the kind of piano that I have, an acoustic piano in Rock Hill and the grand piano in Chester. It is a full-size piano, and it has a total of 88 keys. That includes white keys and black keys. So the answer is, how many keys does a piano have? We're not talking about a keyboard. We're talking about a standard-size piano. And the answer is 88. Now let's talk a little bit more about black keys and white keys and do some math. All right, so we have a total of 88 keys, black keys and white keys. But I'm going to tell you that there are 36 black keys on the piano. Now we're going to subtract. So if there are 36 black keys, we'll take that away from our total of 88. So if we have 8 and we take 6 away, we're left with 2. If we have 8 and we take 3 away from the 8, we have 5. So we have 36 black keys, and that leaves us with 52 white keys. That gives us our total of 88 keys on a standard size piano. Okay, got that down? 88 minus the 36 black keys leaves you with 52 white keys. Total of 88 for the whole piano. Okay, now we've talked about a chord progression. We did the number 1, the number 4, and the 5, 7 chords. And we said in our left hand, when we play C, E, and G, that's a number 1 chord. The definition for a chord is when you're playing more than one note at a time. So we know to play chords, we have to play all 3 of these notes together for the number 1 chord in the C position, C, E, and G. Okay, when you do that, you are playing a chord. So the definition for chord is when you play more than one note at a time, okay? So that's the number 1 chord. Okay, you want to make sure you have that in your workbook. I didn't write all of the chords out. You don't have to do that today. I just want to make sure you understand that when you have the word chord, this is what a chord looks like. Okay, let's erase that. All right, now let me check and see. I think we may be down to our last 2. Okay, all right. So if we go, we know that when we play a scale, we start on one C and we go to the next C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's another word for 8 and music, and that word is octave. O-C-T-A-V-E. So if we're on middle C and I say, please play an octave higher, I would be asking you to play the next C. That means it's 8 notes higher. Sometimes I might ask you to play 8 notes lower. If that were the case, you would play this C. So you need to know the word octave means 8. And you think about an octopus has 8 legs, an octagon has 8 sides. There are lots of words that you can make a reference to oct. Okay, and how many beats does this note get? First I want to see, who knows, what is this note called? It's a half note with a dot, and we call it a dotted half note. How many beats does a dotted half note receive? Well, it's 2 for the half note plus 1 for the dot, giving you a total of 3 beats. 3 beats for a dotted half note. Okay? So just do a little quick review in your mind. The black notes, the quarter notes get 1. The half notes get 2. The dotted half notes get 3. And the whole notes get 4. Okay? All right. Now what you want to do with all of that information, you're going to have a crossword puzzle. And it's going to look like this. It's called number 2. Okay, and if you look down at the bottom, you'll see the vocabulary we've just covered. Answers are loud, 2. Repeat sign, soft, 88, 3, 8, and chord. Okay, so you'll look at your clues. It says down, and it says the dotted half note gets how many beats? That first one, it's number 1 down. Now here's number 1 down. How many beats does the dotted half note get? Okay, you'll find your answer somewhere down here. And then you'll use the spelling and correctly spell the word and put it in 1 down. Do all of your clues for down so you won't get confused going down, and then go over to the ones that are across and read your clue and find the matching answer. Okay? That's your homework sheet. That's your crossword puzzle. Okay. Now, I only have one more thing that I wanted to cover because several people are having trouble with this. And since you're working on your Christmas book between now and Christmas, I don't want this to be a problem for anyone. So let me go over quickly a little explanation about counting. Okay, so when we have a line of music, okay, I'm going to do this a quick example. The time signature is 3/4. That lets us know that we look at the top number. That's the first thing we do. Look at the top number to find out how many beats are going to be in a measure. Okay, in this case, there are 3. 3 beats per measure. Okay, the next thing that we have to be able to do is accurately count the music while we're playing it. So we have to start on 1 and count to 3 in every measure. That's up to the bar line. From this bar line to this bar line is a measure. So it has to have 3 beats there. And this bar line to the end has to be 3 beats. So as you're playing, you should be counting along and making sure that you're using a steady beat. So it would sound like this. We would start on beat 1. Since it's a half note, we would give it the 2 also. 1, 2, 3. Now we're into the measure 2. This is a quarter note with a dot, so it gets the first beat for the note. Half the amount of that note is a half of a beat. So the dot is worth a half. It's going to be the first part of the second beat. And this is going to be the quick note that is called and. 1, 2, and 3. And our last note is counted 1, 2, 3. So when you play the note, that's 1. Then you give it the extra beat if it's a half note, and then continue counting. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. So if I were to clap that, it would sound like this, starting at the beginning. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so please be careful about counting as you're playing your Christmas songs. Write your counts in. It'll be helpful, I promise. And it'll be accurate when you're playing. You're using a steady beat. It's going to be singable. And so when your family wants to sing the Christmas songs with you at Christmas time, you'll all have a great time. So this is our last video until January when we start back. So I wish each of you a very Merry Christmas. If you watch these videos later in the year, you'll be thinking, why is Ms. McCorkle talking about Christmas? It's only because I'm recording this video and it's almost Christmas. So I hope you have a great week. Don't forget to continue working on note names. That's something you do every week from now on. Everybody works on note names. Name That Note app is a great source. Your regular flashcards, you can use those as well. Just make sure you're working on both right and left hand and ledger line notes. And go on and try the intermediate level if you have mastered the beginning level. So you just want to continue to get better at note reading. So I wish you all happy holidays. Thanksgiving is just around the corner, Christmas, and then New Year's, and then we'll start back in January playing our regular music. But from now to Christmas, we're going to work in our new Christmas book. So I'm excited about that. So I look forward to seeing you at your lesson this week. I hope you have a great week of practice, and I'll see you soon. See ya. Bye-bye.